Yes, despite my absence, I am now back, and I've actually been quite productive over the last few months or so. And this is what this video is about. Basically just showing you the figures I've made while I was away. Starting off with Ian Chesterton. The majority of this figure was just a simple repaint of this figure, James Luster. The first thing I did was add the bits of hair. I cut off that bit here and just took some strings of milliput and added them here. Then I took a huge clump of milliput and added it here to make the rest of the hair, and just used a toothpick to carve in the details. Once that was done, I painted the whole hair black. And while we're on milliput, I ended up straightening the nose because, well, mainly because William Russell had a more pointed nose and it was more straight, opposed to Lester here. After I repainted the face so I can blend in the milliput and the plastic, I moved on to the suit. I first painted off the tie a light blue. I ended up having to do this by mixing white and blue because, well, out of all the paints I had and from the paints from Games Workshop, none of them really matched the photos. In any case, I then moved on to the rest of the suit, which was just painting the jacket, the arms, and the legs. And I did this the all grey colour in order to match the suit from the photos. So yes, that is Ian. And he'll do great alongside my Barbara custom. And I know I'm kind of rushing through things, but I have 5 figures to get through, so can you just bear with me? Thank you. In any case. The next figure I did was Jamie. The base figure was a Series 1 Auton figure. Given the smoother details of the face, I ended up having to fill in the gaps of the cheeks and the chin in order to match Fraser Hines' face. And I also added milliput into the hair to give it more detail to make it more like the mop top head that Jamie has. I also added a cravat into the collar. This was just basically a bit of milliput and just stabbed away at it with a toothpick in order to make the details. Painted it green and added a dark wash into it to bring out the details. I left the arms and shirt black, but painted the jacket yellow in order to match Jamie's yellow waistcoat. The next thing was the kill. I took pieces of red card, made the shapes, drew them out, cut them up and stuck them to the body with hot glue. Then I stuck all the pieces together to make the shape of the kilt. I then took some black marker and drew the patterns on the cardboard. I then took more milliput to make the pouch, put the shape, glued it on, but before I did that I added all the details in, the same as the cravat, and painted it white and added the dark wash. In order to make his boots, I added a strap around the legs. I sanded them down, given how he was rigidly wearing trousers. And then painted the lines around the boots black, and the upper legs a skin colour. Says skin colour I painted for the face and hands. Admittedly, this is not my best sculpt, but what can I do? Aside from that, I just had to repaint the facial features such as the eyebrows, the eyes and the lips. And that is Jamie, as I think he'll do quite well alongside my second Doctor. Now, if you watched my Big Finish video, I admitted that I could have redone the Dark Ice Master better. And I went out and bought another figure in order to make a new version of this figure. And here's the result. As you can see, the base figure is a Series 3 John Sim Master. The main process of making this figure was sanding down the head. I took some sandpaper and sanded away the hair for God knows how long until I felt it was just right enough to get rid of all the hair and all the major details, which left the hair majorly disformed. So if you're planning to do this, that's not the only way to do it. Well, it's not the only step to do it. In any case, once again, I took the milliput out and covered the whole top head in milliput, smoothed it all out, and then I sanded it down some more in order to make the shape of a bald head. I had to repaint the entire head entirely. I took a fresh colour paint and some white paint and mixed the two together, making this pale skin tone, and covered the whole head in that skin colour except for the eyes and the lips. Once that dried, I repainted the eyebrows black. Once that was done, I painted the eyebrows back on just by using black paint on a cocktail stick. Other than that, I just repainted the tie a dark blue and added the white stripes. That's it. So yeah, I'm really glad I remade this figure because it looks so much better, especially with my Dark Eyes 8th Doctor. And because of this, I hope to make a Molly O'Sullivan custom because, well, Dark Eyes. But until then, I'm happy with these two as they are because they go well together. And speaking of the master, we have another master custom, this being Missy. The base figure was a Jenny from Primeval figure, and the first thing I did was the hair. I just took bits of milliput and looked at the reference photos and sculpted all the details, the grooves, the curves, whatever. And given how Jenny has her hair done like that, this just blended perfectly with this style of hair. So that saved me a lot of hassle. Anyway, after that I painted the hair a dark brown and added a dark wash in to bring out all the details. Next I cut out the vest top that she was wearing underneath her jacket, and then I added milliput to make the shirt, the collar and the little pendant that she's wearing in between her collar. After that I painted that white. I moved on to the skirt, which was basically again some card that I painted purple and glued it to the figure with hot glue and glued the pieces together. I used the same purple to paint Missy's jacket and arms. I also used the milliput to make the pockets and the stitching patterns around her arms. Once that was done, I used black paint to add around the details of the collar, the lapels, the pockets, etc. It's not exactly much, it's not exactly the most perfect likeness of Michelle Gomez, but yeah, again, it does the job well, and I'm really glad that it turned out as well as it did. Finally, in my big finish video, I mentioned how I started the progress of a firearm custom figure, but never finished it. Well, here it is. The base figure was a Power Rangers villain that I found at a car boot sale. I'm not exactly sure who it was, but I'll put the name of it in editing, but still. In any case, the first thing I did was notice how the figure originally had a point to the head. Yeah, the point right there, so I just sanded that down along with the majority of the details on the original helmet. Then I covered it in milliput and cut out a chunk to create the eyepiece and sanded all the rest of the milliput down to make it a lot more smoother. The head also has these two details. I'm not exactly sure why, these little discs. But I made those. I added the grooves, the little dot in the middle, and just painted the whole helmet white, along with the eyepiece being black. I took some card to make this shape right here. I glued it down to the figure, painted it white, added the black details here. The whole chest piece was made of milliput where I just drew out a stencil so that looked like the firearm chest piece. I drew in all the other details like the red dot, the lines, the decals, and after that I just glued it onto the figure. Then there was also this neck piece, which is just basically two really long tubes of milliput. I put them around the figure, that just narrowed down here, back to this piece here, which is just another small swatch of milliput. Stuck it on, dug a hole in there, painted it black, and then painted that part white, along with me sanding it down to make it extra smooth. I then added these 6 bits of milliput here that connect these tubes together, painted them white, then made the tubes that go into the body, and painted them black, along with adding the white disc on the end of the shoulder pads. Then there was the belt, which was basically much smoother than how it is now. It's just a flat belt, but I added all the pouches, just take a strip of milliput, put it all around the belt, took a sculpting tool and sliced it down all the way until it reached the codpiece here. Again, just made the shape out of milliput and blended it in and painted out all white. I mainly picked this figure because the Byron is all white, so this wouldn't be a complete hassle to paint. The only thing I majorly painted was that the gloves had these blue pieces here at the end of the glove and on the wrist. The fingers were gold, so I painted them all white. And the same pattern was on the boots, so I just painted that white as well. So there, that's my Byron costume. After promising it for so long in my Big Finish video, I'm really glad that it turned out as well as it did, and I hope to use it in my stop motion series. And so this brings us to the end of this video. I really hope you liked these figures. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you like it, please leave a comment, subscribe, whatever. And if you think they're crap, just let me know in the comments. I hope if you do plan to make customs of any of these characters, I hope this has been informative. Glad to be back, and I hope to bring you more figures in the future. Until then, see ya!